Hey, hi, welcome back on our YouTube channel. So, this is our hands on EHR playlist, which is electronic health record blockchain based system using Hyperledger Fabric. So, now we have a good news here. This is chapter 10. So far we have seen 9 chapters, and in that we have did a lot of things. So finally we are here with completing this playlist. So we've in today's video we're gonna see how to start network with complete process, how to register credentials, and then most important, the SDKs. We have built SDKs, how to consume APIs, how to consume the chain code functions through API, and then how to write the read operation and write operations using Node SDKs, and how can you use that APIs in our front end. So in this project, we have not built the front end till APIs we have built, but once you have API handy, it's super easy to build front end on top of that. So now, without further any delays, let's get started. So now, very first, I'll give you a walkthrough to the our updated chain code. Like we have updated our chain code and what are the functions we have there, and then I'll show you the uh, Node SDK setup. Okay. Very first, let's see the chain code. So inside this chain code, we have multiple methods. Okay. So where we are onboarding patient, this is already we have seen in previous video. When we are onboarding patient to script, so we will create the entry in ledger for them, right? So add record is like this is going to add the patient record for the patient, and this can be added by the doctor. So yeah, onboard patient is something new we have did here, and these two functions, these all functions we are going to trigger from APIs. Yeah, you have heard me right. So fetch ledger is also one of the function we have created. This also we're gonna hit from API. Okay, so these all methods we are going to hit from our APIs, and then there are few another functions which we have already wrote, like onboard doctor, onboard insurance, onboard insurance agent, like, right? So these two functions we are calling from script. So this is for onboarding my entities or onboarding new users on my ledger. Apart from patient onboarding is from API, other onboarding is from a script. So this is something which you can migrate anytime. I'll show you what I did changes in script and what the changes you have to do in API. So I want to give you the flavor or glimpse, like how you can do using script and how you can do using APIs. So that's the thing. So this is a quick glimpse of your chain code, but don't forget, like, this is already I have updated in GitHub. If I have not updated, I'll push it again, so you can check out this complete code from my GitHub repo. Okay, now not to worry on that side. Now let's move to the important piece of our work, which is server node SDK, right? So in previous videos, we have seen like we are calling these scripts onboard doctor, onboard hospitals. So there is a certain sequence to do that, right? So don't worry, I have drafted that sequence properly in README file as well. So I have moved all these scripts to the cert script, and there is a new setup we have did for our node server, which is app.js we have to do, and then there are some helper scripts to register patient. To register patient, what we need to do, there are certain stuff simple, like if you are registering patient, then we have to create the X509 certificate for them to manage their identity and to track the user, right? So to do that, we have another few functions, like let me just open inside. Okay, I think I need to increase the font size as well. Yeah. So I would like you to show first app.js, like how many methods we have here or how many APIs we have built. So this is my app.js, which is running on 5000. So very first we have status, then we have register patient, where we are registering patient. So when we are saying registering patient, in the sense, in this particular method or in this API, we are creating the identity for the ledger. Okay, we are creating the identity, we are creating the certificate in the wallet, and then using that identity we are will perform the different operations, right? So that's the only thing. So this registered patient API is going to call this helper dot js method, I'll show you here. You can see helper. We are using the helper script to register user. Inside that, what we are passing parameters: admin ID, doctor ID, user ID, role, and then the some metadata: name, date of birth, and city of that patient. Okay, so if we go inside this script, so we are calling, there is two functions in this script. So first one is register user and second one is login. So login is like just check the credential if you have that credential, and then logged in that user. As simple as that. You can add extra logic into it, of course. Now in this register user is similar to the what we have already wrote the script. So you can see, you can observe with this scripts closely this function. So where very first we are setting up the path, we are connecting with our organization, and then we are adding that msp ids, like, right, we are using the ca certificate here, certificate authority, and all those things we are using the same wallet path we have already here. And then from this, what we are doing, just a second. Yeah, so what we are doing, we have admin certificate here. We have, so admin certificate is something which is responsible for creating this certificate, right? So we are giving admin certificate, those who have admin certificate, that certificate we are passing from here api itself, that's called admin id we are passing here. Sorry, sorry. We'll pass that admin id. Admin id is nothing but the a certificate which has the admin authority, that username or that certificate name will pass in admin id. And then we have to pass the doctor id as well. Doctor id we are passing, where doctor is going to onboard the patient, right? So this is all about, till this point this is all about certificate creation process. And then here we have our gateway, we have started our gateway code here, where we are using doctor identity to onboard my patient, because doctor can only onboard the patient in my ecosystem. That's the funda we have already added here, right? So doctor is onboarding the patient, and then that doctor can triggering the chain code. So I'll change my rename. I did some testing, so that's why I've updated the chain code. So it should be like EHR chain code only if you are deploying that chain code single time. Uh, then this is like we are setting up the arguments, like what arguments we need to pass, and then we are passing these arguments. Now onboard patient, we are calling this function. Sorry, this function is, this method is nothing but my chain code method. Here we are triggering the submit transaction because we are performing a write operations to onboard patient. And in chain code, we can say here onboard insurance, access grant, and then yeah, onboard patient is the method where we are calling. First, we are taking, yeah, onboard patients. So here we are extracting the arguments from where we are passing, and then this is for my debugging, like is my variable getting properly added or not. And then we are, so most important part here we need to remember. Now please pay attention here closely. So here what we are doing, we are first creating a key, the composite key, with respect to the sequencing, like for patient we are adding the patient keyword, for doctor we are adding the doctor keyword, for record, for normal record, like inside where we have prescription and other medical record, for that we are adding the r keyword or record keyword for that key. Why we are doing this? Because here we have changed our data structure a little bit. So everything whatever you are going to store in your ledger is going to act as an object, is act as an object. In the sense, let me show you the format how we are storing the data. So we are storing our data structure in this way. Earlier I defined like this array should be the one single one, but that's not the right approach. Here what we are going to do, patient object will be different, and then record object will be different. So patient, let's say I have onboarded 10 different patients, so that 10 objects will be different. And let's say I have onboarded each, each patient has one record, so those 10 records will be different, but inside that record itself will track the patient id, record id, doctor id, and all those things over here, right? So I think patient id is not mentioned here in the sample, but yeah, we are tracking patient id as well. And then we are tracking the uh, proper naming convention to filter out whenever we record only records we can filter out, only patients we can filter out, only doctors we can filter out, all these things we can do. Okay, so please remember that to segregate it. So this is like we are doing normalization of our database sort of thing. We don't need to do clumsy or mixy stuff over here, so we have to keep it very separated and very normalized so we can filter out and for speedy operation. So remember for future use cases as well, we have to split our data as much as possible for easy use. Let's back to our onboard patient code. Yeah, so here that's we are creating keys, and then first we'll check the record if that record already exists in uh, this patient already exists in my database or not. If yes, then we have said already exists. If not, then we'll generate this record. We'll draft the object, and then we'll put that object into here. Put state is important where we are writing the data on ledger, right? Buffer dot from JSON stringify patient. Okay. And then it will return a string with statement like, yeah, patient this id is registered. Okay, now now I think it's good time to start our process. I'll show you the steps to follow. So I'll explain the chain code again when we'll run the code, but in meantime let's get started with how to set up my complete project. Now please pay attention here again. So this is important steps because there are certain changes in these steps, so what you need to do properly. But not to worry, I have written everything over here. So very first, please refer the readme. If you are the first time user who are directly following up with the eighth video, so remember to start install script. Then we have to go to check your test network, check your setup. Do simply get into the test network and do network.sh up to check your network is running or not. If you are already the existing user who is following this playlist, then you don't need to do that. But for sure, for practicing and for hands-on, you can do that. And now what we need to do, we need to run our network using couchdb. We are using couchdb our ledger, and then we are creating a channel with my channel default name, right? So first we need to go into the test directory for fabric sample, and then test network, right? Then here we need to run this command to up my ledger. But now see, I got error. Why I got error? Because my docker is not up. So don't forget to up your docker. Let's switch on the docker. Yeah, docker is giving error. I think it will get started. Cool. So it will take some time, might be a minute or so. Yeah, it's here. So check all images is there or not. Yes, all images is here. Now let's go to the same command. We have to rerun this command. Now, yeah, it's bringing up the network. Okay. Now, there's something missing in my code. Let me just refactor it. I'll check my chain code name is proper or not. In my testing, I have updated the chain code name. So let me just quickly check that. Yeah, here I need to give EHR chain code only instead of 0102. So this is like something where we can deploy the multiple chain codes as well, if possible. If we encountered any error, then if I need to do any modification inside chain code, at that time I'll show you how to call sorry, onboard. What is this onboard hospital? How to deploy multiple chain code as well. I will show you not the issue and how to use it. It's pretty simple. Just we have to deploy the chain code again. Yeah, here it's chain code only. This is which script, onboard insurance company, no need. on board admin, no need, no need, no need. Okay, helper, check helper chain code. Helper chain code, it's on the top, I think so. Yeah, this is, yeah, it's your chain code. Let's check invoke as well. Yeah, invoke is also, sure. Let's check query as well. Query is the one function. So here is two scripts. Invoke, all write transaction we are doing in invoke, all read operations we are doing in query.js. So simple. Why we are doing like this? Because when we hit any read operation, at that time we have to give evaluate transaction, right? Evaluate transaction method we need to call. And whenever we are doing any write operation, at that time we need to call submit transaction, right? So that's why we are using two different script to keep it separated, and then argument structure will be also same. So that's why we are keeping it apart. Now we have, now I can see my network is up, channel is created successfully. Now second step, deploy chain code, right? Chain code deployment command. So deploy chain code, we need to follow this command. And please remember, here you can change the chain code name whatever you want, and please define your directory according to, remember to run this command from test network only. If you cannot run this from any other directory. So pure life cycle, yeah, it will take some time, it will do the package. So I hope you remember the chain code life cycle. Very first, it will commit, it will package my complete chain code, it will simulate the transaction, it will check like is my chain code is running properly. If it's not running properly, it will throw the error through the peer will say, hey, your simulation is not working properly, right? Once it's simulated, it will package and then it get committed. But before committed, it will take approval from all the peers. Like now we have two peers in our two organizations, it will take approval from both, and then only it is going to commit to the final stage. Yeah, like everything is proper, so now you can see its approval is going on. uh, then it will commit mileage chain code. Yes, okay, committing is happening. Yes, perfect. Okay, perfect. Now chain code deployment is done. Now what do I need to do? Now you need to go to main directory. Okay, remember that. Go to the root directory, change your to the server node SDK. Now here we need to follow certain steps. Let me just do this here. So you want it to do what we need to do. So this I have added here network down command as well, but you have to run whenever you are shutting down your system or when you are closing your system. Please remember to do network.sh down command, right? Because if you close your container by directly to docker or something, then your network might get affected, or your system might get affected, because some process might get running in the backend. So please remember to do follow this step to close your network. Very important. Okay, now to register admin, what we need to do first, we have to change the directory. Then we need to follow this command, register org1 admin. If you remember, we have two organization in our organization in our complete network topology. Okay. So what we need to do, now I have already did testing, so I have lot of users and credential over here. So first I need to remove this wallet directory. Please remember these steps to follow from your side as well when you are doing practice, because in code itself we have mentioned, if this user's credential is already present in my wallet, please don't register that, right? Or say duplicate user. Even though if you will try to uh, create it from ledger, our server will be aware of the users, so they know how many users they have created. So from server side they will give error, from node side or organization side. So now let's try to run this script again. Yeah, successfully created admin one. Now let's try to create an admin for or two. Yes, successfully created admin. Now now we'll perform operations with respect to organization one, with respect to organization one, in this is admin one. So node search script onboard hospital 01 will try to onboard the hospital. Let's clear this one. Now this is the hospital with admin privilege. This hospital can onboard the doctor. Now using this hospital certificate, we're going to onboard the doctor. Remember the doctor name and all those things. So Dr. Rama 04 is my name, and then you can see here when I'm when I'm triggering that particular doctor onboard doctor event, I'm calling the chain code as well. This thing is coming from the chain code. I recorded their details in chain code, right? So onboard doctor operation is performing on the chain. So this method is got triggered here. Can show you. I can show you here onboard. Yeah, onboard doctor got triggered, and then so what most important now we can check the logs as well. I can show you here. Now we just triggered this function. How to check logs? So go to the container. This is my EHR chain code container, right? So I'll go here. I'll check the logs. So you can see org Rama, org raw, org doctor. These all are the logs coming from chain code directly. Okay, onboard doctor result. This is also coming from the chain code, right? This all thing is chain code stuff. So this is how you can debug and you can check like is this facing any error or something like that. Perfect. Now we have did this. So now let's try to go ahead and let's try to perform the similar operations for insurance also for my organization 2. So this is for organization 2, and then this is for my insurance agent. Okay. Yep. Operations performed successfully. It's behaving properly. Okay, good. Now you can see this operation is also got triggered. Now it's good time to trigger our APIs. So now let's open our Postman. Don't worry, I'll give you Postman collection as well. So I have prepared the Postman collection to trigger APIs. It's taking time. Open, buddy. So these are the APIs we have added here. So in meantime, let me show you your homework also. So very important to give homework if you want to do things in proper way. So you can see here we have multiple things. So this use case is very vast and very beautiful one. You can do a lot of more things. So I've given you all the basic stuff which is required for any good project. But if you have to make it a production level or product level stuff, then it's always advisable to create in a full-fledged way. So I commented here methods which you can do. Get patient details by ID, get all patients, get patient record by doctor, insurance, right? So these all methods you can do from your side and then follow the same process to uh, do the script. You don't need to do the script for this. This is directly you can write it in APIs, right? So let me give you the glimpse of APIs as well. So very simple. Now let's say we will going to call the fetch ledger. Okay, this is my API. So these are the collection I have created. Let me zoom in a little bit. Oh, right, it's not. Anyway, this zoom is not happening. Zoom in. अच्छा, control plus equals. हाँ, ठीक है. So see here we have fetch ledger function. So here we are passing the user ID using hospital 01. We are going try to fetch the ledger. So first what we need to do to call that API, first we need to run our server. Still this point we are doing everything from our script. We have not set up our server. Now we'll run our server app.js, and then yeah, now our server is running on 5000 port. Okay, So now let's get call the fetch ledger. Perfect. Now you can see we have here multiple two records because we have onboarded Dr. Rama 04 and their details. You can see we have record ID and transaction timestamp as well. These two things I have added in Ledger to check the transaction. This is record ID is nothing but this is my transaction ID, and I added embedded my transaction ID with my the record prefix. Okay, so this is how you are going to fetch the ledger from the chain code, right? So how you are doing the flow, what is the flow? So you can see here is a function called fetch ledger. Now fetch is a read operation, that's why we are calling it in get query, or you can see the in query script. So fetch ledger, you are passing like the function name. This is my chain code name. This is the arguments what you need to pass there, and this is the arguments for my script for identity. So then I'll go to my query. My pointer will go to the query script. Here it will going to check. So very first we are taking the arguments here in the function name, arguments, and then my arguments is empty for fetch because I don't need any, and then user ID. So here if you go inside, then evaluate transaction will happen. We will pass the function name, and then in stringified manner we'll pass arguments if there is any, and then we are using user ID for getting the credential. We'll first get the credential for whatever operation we are going to do. We are going to check their credential. If the credential, if the identity is exist on the ledger, only that person can perform the certain operation based on their access level. This is a first level of access we are you can say the identity verification we are doing, and the second level of our identity verification using their roles inside chain code, right? So that's what we are doing here. Now let's try to perform our second operation, which is register patient. Now we have here details. Dr. 04 is the doctor we have onboarded, right? Now let's try to onboard this stuff. Yes, perfect. Now you can see my this chain code response I got. Patient Anuj registered. Okay, so I was successfully able to register my patient properly. Now let's try to perform login as well. Thing now user ID is simple Anuj. So as of now, it's just a API. You can do many more thing with respect to your front end when you have. You can see user logged in successfully. As of now, I'm just checking does this user ID exist in my wallet. If yes, that's simply logged in. But you can check the password and other stuff as well. So what you need to do for that, you need to extract the details from my credential, and then you have to verify, and then you have to say like is it matching to the my things or not, right? Or you can manage this to the chain code level as well. So it's up to you how you have to do it. Now there is another function we'll try to call, which is add record for patient. So in meantime, let's try to fetch ledger again, see how many details we have added. Now here we should have patient details also because we onboarded patient. Yeah, iteration. Now you can see I have one more stuff which is called patient. Okay, so now there is one more array, authorized doctor. So what we are doing here, authorized doctor is something. First we're going to give access to doctor, like doctor we will authorize the doctor that that particular doctor is going to add the record for the patient, right? So let's try to do this. So that is what grant access API is going to do. What this grant access API is going to do, we are giving access to the my doctor 04 to, we are giving allowing, we are giving consent to this particular doctor to add record or update record for me. That's the thing, we are giving consent. Okay, so now let's try to grant the access. So this is something where from doctor interface he is going to send request to the patient, and patient will going to call this API. So this API is going to call by patient. You can see user ID have given Anuj. So user ID is nothing but the certificate, the identity one who is going to trigger this function. Going to trigger. Please observe the chain code logic closely. So you can see doctor 04 is authorized, and this response is coming from my chain code itself. Let me show you my chain code logic for this as well. uh, mm, mm, yeah, grant access. So So here you can see I'm just checking the extracting the attributes. I'm checking here, very important function, get caller attribute. So this is the attributes where we are extracting the from the credential. We have created this credential, right? Inside that we have mentioned the role and their UUID. From it we are extracting, and it's based on who is calling my this chain code, right? Then extracting, and we are checking the role. If that role is patient, then only we are performing the function. If that patient role is not patient, then we will not perform that function, because patient is giving consent for their own data, so it should be the patient ID only, right? And then we are performing the functions. We are checking the patient record, and then inside that we are pushing the doctor ID in that array, and then we are updating my ledger again, or that object, right? So that's what. Now you can see one more change in the ledger. So now
So
let's try
if
to
we
fetch the ledger again. Yes, we can see Dr. Rama 04 is added here properly. So yeah, we are good. We have authorized this doctor. Now what we'll try to do, now let's try to perform our add operation here. Okay, so what are we gonna do? We're going to add another new record called for patient Anuj. And here remember we are using a user ID as Dr. Rama, because now we have authorized Dr. Rama. So Dr. Rama 04 can add the record for patient Anuj. Okay, cool flu okay. And then here you can say M1 M2 XYZ okay. Now let's try to hit the record. Now this is going to check, yes, now record got added properly. Now let's grab this ID. Okay, and now let's try to fetch the record by record ID. Now let's try to fetch the record. So now let's replace here record id we have replaced. Now remember here we have to use a user ID. Now who is going to fetch the record? Anuj is going to fetch his own record. Okay, so now based on that we are just going to call it, just hit enter. Yeah, now you can see flu cold flu and then xyz proper, we got this record. And you can see I have recorded here record ID we are getting, and then we are getting timestamp as well, like when it's got initiated. So it's like, yeah, perfect. So we are good, we are pretty good on this now. Yeah, so there is one more function called get all record by patient ID, so where we are fetching all the records, so we can check the logic here. So inside chain code, yeah, here is inside chain code, there is a logic to fetch all the records. There is one more logic to fetch the history of assets as well, and so on and so forth. So yes, but we are not updating any record as of now, so we can't get the history. So we can write a logic to update the record and fetch the history as well. So the important function is fetch ledger. Now we have not adding any we are giving authority to only those who can fetch the record, is like the hospital, the who has the ownership of hospital. But this can be changed to the data scientist and anyone who want to give the privilege, and based on that you can perform your all business operations logic. So more or less we are pretty good with all the APIs. So there is one API I think left, but yeah, you can try it from your side as well. I'll share the code. What was that? Yeah, get all record by patient ID, this is the one. So we are looking for a sync iteration. So yep, so this is the one where we can get all the patients by patient, all the records by patient ID. So this is the only method we have not demonstrated, but other than that everything is demonstrated and working completely fine. So perfect. So we are good with our video and all the complete playlist. So what next? So next is whatever homework is given, just try to complete the all the coding part. Let's try to implement. You can create a front end, very dashing front end over here to show how the patient operation is working on, how the doctor operation is working, who is onboarding, how onboarding operation is working. All those things you can, in proper glorified way, you can put it on a table, and then you can publish as your project. Feel free to use my repo, and feel free to use this for your college projects or internship projects or POC project, anything. And if you need any help, please don't hesitate. Please reach out to me directly. My social media handles will be there in the description box, so you can reach out. You can join our WhatsApp group, you can join our telegram group, and then we can do a lot more together. So yeah, stay connected and see you in next playlist. Jai Hind. Bye bye.